magnet on here. All right, excellent. Welcome. I'm at the Hudson County Commissioners meeting now in Jersey City, New Jersey. And Sean of Long Island Audit is on his way as we speak. He just found parking. We have the county commissioners over here, some of them. It's going to start any minute. And so we are going to be speaking. And here, check out. These are some of the people here. This is the guy who yells. He loves to yell. He's got a very, very bad temper. That's the chairman, Anthony Romano, who allegedly is a Mayor Brian Stack hack. Hey, hello there.
Where's like the clerk?
And we're live here now.
They just tried to stop me from recording downstairs. They just freaked out on me.
Crazy.
I had to wait for a sergeant to come down.
You want to be on or off?
I don't care.
Okay. And here, Sean
I just want to speak to a clerk regarding me speaking.
All right.
So I can set the tone.
Okay.
So where's the clerk?
All right, here we're going to go to the clerk. We got Sean here. She's over here. I tried to change the order of when I speak, which they usually do, but they wouldn't today. And there's 18 people signed up to speak, and I'm number 2.
Okay.
I wanted to be 10, but she wouldn't let me, so she's behind here. And this is this completely unlawful ordinance right here. This is an unconstitutional
that's
ordinance.
what the security guard was referring to when he says I can't record in the building. He
Yeah.
says, there's a new ordinance. So
And completely unconstitutional. They did this about.
what's the ordinance? What does the ordinance say?
It says that if anyone feels disturbed by us recording, they could take our cameras away from us.
They passed this ordinance.
Yeah, they passed it about 2 months ago.
Interesting.
And they said they can take our camera away, and we have to get permission from anyone in the public to record them in our public building, anywhere in a county government building. And so,
Wow.
I mean, and her name is Carol Jean Doyle. She's not only the clerk, Sean, of the Board of County Commissioners, she's also the mayor of what the heck is it called? It's a little town. And they actually give 10 minutes to speak, where Carol Jean Doyle is the mayor. But she's, double dipping here, so she has this county job. So.
Gotcha. So I'll definitely bring up that. I got to look at the ordinance first because I don't want to say something that's not actually in the ordinance. So I have to read it quickly. But I'm just trying to speak, and
right.
That's why I want to speak to her to sign up.
Can you hold this? I left my other thing. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I left something else over here, and we're going to get started very, very soon. It's 4:31. The meeting was supposed to start already, and Carol Jean Doyle is behind that door right there, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure to hit the like button, everyone. Hit that like button because Facebook loves to be liked. And YouTube as well.
Is she going to come out before the meeting starts?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Because she sits over here.
Right. I just want to sign up to speak.
Right. He just wants to talk.
I just got here.
Yeah. He drove, long distance to get here. There she is.
How are you? I would like to sign up to speak. It's too late? Why is that? It's too late
What do you
to sign
mean?
up to speak?
He came all the way here to
Get a
speak.
public meeting? Why is that? Do you know why?
I don't know why, but you have to do it in advance.
You have to do it in advance to speak at a public meeting.
That's the way it
So
goes.
what if you didn't know that you had to do it in advance? Or what if you don't have access to a computer? Or
Well, that would be redundant because you literally.
well, I mean, I'm not saying me.
Okay.
I'm not saying me. Are there people that don't know how to use computers?
So
It's about everybody. It's not just about me.
Stop. I'm not on the computer. Okay, on the right side of the fence. Someone do that to me.
Do what to you?
Like you're interrogating.
Oh, we don't have to speak anymore.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not confused.
I'm not, ma'am. I thought I just said we could stop
But
talking.
you're talking about me and I'm in your shot, so knock it off.
Okay. I thought she's the one who got involved in my business.
Right.
Right. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. They always do that, and then they say that I'm the bad guy.
Right. It's called countertransference.
It's ridiculous.
Yep. And so I got a question. I got a question for you now. If Anthony Romano, chairman, says to you or anyone, take Leroy out, you're not going to do that today, right? Okay. But he may interrupt.
I had no intention to, but we do have to try to keep some kind of peace and
All right,
order between both.
but it's him. In other words, I'm doing my thing, so I don't have to be.
And like I said, I agreed with him. He was out of line
Yeah.
last week.
So just one request I have is if he's out of line today, and hopefully he doesn't, but that you address him, and he's the one I'm going to ask to be taken out of the meeting for disruption. So, okay, God bless you. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started. We've got a full house here, ladies and gentlemen, because people are extremely upset. The welfare division is extremely upset because they were promised COVID hazard pay, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6 years ago. No, when was it? 2021. They were promised COVID hazard pay. I got a free chair here. Come on.
Free chair right here?
Yeah. And the commissioners are all late. Look at this. They're all MIA right here.
Yeah, this meeting was supposed to start at 5:30. It is now.
All right, now 4:35 here. Why can't our public servants be on time? No.
Unless you sign up early. It's news to me.
Right, you're right. There's nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, there's nowhere that I know of.
I'm going to speak anyway.
I would think you have a right because this is a public meeting.
When are you up to speak?
Second.
All right, then I'm going to go right before you. And I'm just going to start speaking.
Yeah. Sounds
Because
good.
I have a right to speak.
Right. He has a right to speak just like you do, ladies and gentlemen, like I do.
Sign up in advance.
Right. I mean, this is nuts. Like and as dirty as Mayor Brian Stack is, and as corrupt as he is, everyone just goes to a meeting. No one has to sign up to speak. That is so unconstitutional. And they don't give us permission to speak. We give them permission to speak. It's upside down and backwards. And hello, everybody. Frank Pants, Full Court Press, hello. And they made a law that any employee, YouTube, and they made a law that any employee of a county building can take our camera if it makes them feel uncomfortable. Is that nuts? That's this ordinance. Let me show you. This is the ordinance here. And Full Court, can you look it up? You turn the camera around. Now, this is what Full Court Press is referring to. And if anyone can look this ordinance up now and check it out, ordinance number 58-1, 2025. And it is completely unconstitutional.
You got your 360 going?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
As soon as I walked in, like, this street I wasn't even recording. I'll get them going for a second. He's like, I need to see your ID. He's like, I need to see your ID. And I was like, one second. And I got my stuff out of the book, turned on my phone, started recording. And I said, what do you need? And he was like, your ID. And I was like, no, you're not going to have my ID. And what's up, brother? How you doing? It's good seeing you.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
I told him, I said, you're not, I was like, I'm not giving you, and you can't record it.
Right.
It's against the ordinance. I was like, what ordinance?
Wow. And
They called, the law enforcement sergeant came down, and the guy was like, yo, if he can record in here, it's not a problem. But it's crazy. But I guess I don't need a speech because I don't think I'm going to be talking for very long.
right.
I think I can wing it for a few minutes.
I got
It's like if I would be dragged out like Leroy.
That's right. Okay. Sean may do a Leroy today.
People reached out to me to come here. So many people reached out to me that work in the government here that said they're being treated unfairly and unjustly, and they told me. And then you had told me that you had went to their protest. They had told me about the protest. I just didn't know when it was.
Yeah. And they do the protest every day, ladies and gentlemen, too. And
Oh, they're protesting every day?
yeah.
Oh, really?
All right. And then when you speak, I'm going to give you this
Sure.
as well, because this is connected here.
Okay, no problem. I mean, you could just give it to me now. I don't want them to think that you're influencing me
Yeah.
into doing anything.
Oh. And again, everything is, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to redress, petition the government on some very important elements. So Okay, let's turn this around here, and we do have the county attorney there, and he was accused of allegedly being like some drug lord, and he got arrested for intent to distribute a number of years ago, and it was there's one simple thing online about it, and then it disappeared. So I've been investigating into it.
Did you ask him?
Oh yeah,
Where is he? Which one is he?
right there.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, he said it's not him.
He said it's not him?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people say they allegedly say it is. So.
I mean, we have no proof it was.
No,
And he said no. I'm always down for asking the question.
yeah, and it's an ongoing investigation.
There you go. Ongoing.
It's on. We got an ongoing investigation here, ladies and gentlemen. So.
Yo, that woman just freaked out for no reason on me. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was bizarre. Yeah, how did that all start?
she,
Here, let's have a little-
she involved herself in my conversation. That's how it started. And then took offense.
And the thing is, all we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, again, is addressing the government. There's a lot going on here. The welfare workers here, to bring you up to speed, Sean. The people in the welfare division, they were promised COVID hazard pay to come into work over 4 years ago, and they received nothing. A couple unions got some, the others did not. They have no contract, they have cockroaches, they have mice, they have mold, apparently. And in fact, I got sick after I went there and did a live stream the other day.
Wow. I was in that building, I think.
Yeah, well, I was right next to the mold like the whole time, reporting. The mold was my backdrop.
Oh, wow.
And so they want humane working conditions, for example. So.
Right.
I said you can't hear. Let's see. It says my microphone's too far away. Give me a test now, everybody. I wonder, has this been like this the whole time? Give me a 5 if the sound is good. Give me a 0 if it is not.
Yeah, is this one working too?
They're plugged in here.
Oh, okay.
Give me a 5. Okay, 5. Good. Yeah, just Julie, Dan. And what's that? White Bow Hatcher, Frank Pants. And Ballroom, you give us a 4. All right. You're like the Russian judge. Sassy Kisses say hello to LIA. And Scalzo was going to be here, but I just got word that he may not.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he says
Yeah, look, this is the woman. I'm not gonna, don't say her name out loud, but this is one of the people that hit me up.
Oh yeah.
But she didn't let me know when it was.
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, the welfare workers. Oh, here we go. Here, they're coming in. This is the screamer right here. The chairman. That's the screamer. He likes to yell at people. Fanny Cedeno is Brian Sack's confidential personal secretary that he got her installed here. And it's like, what did she do? Her qualifications when she ran for office a few years ago, where she's Brian Stack's confidential secretary, and her husband is a veteran. God bless her husband, but her husband didn't run.
Right.
That's her qualifications. So,
This is about to get interesting. It's good that you're up quicker. It's better to get this over with.
yeah. And I'm going to be speaking second here, ladies and gentlemen, and Sean is going to speak sometime when he is inspired to. And we got you on blast, Leroy. A Bluetooth speaker, Big Monster. Arthur, thank you, man. And please like the video, please share this video. And I want to share this. I haven't shared it with anyone yet. And find it here. And this is starting, how many minutes late? Almost 15 minutes late, ladies and gentlemen. Time is money. Oh, there's the screamer, Anthony Romano, right there.
Call the meeting to order. Commissioner Pontilivski. Here. Commissioner Basilis. Commissioner Cedeno. Commissioner Cifelli. Commissioner Lopez. Commissioner O'Day. Commissioner Rodriguez. Commissioner Walker. Chairman Romano. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
moment of silence. There's been a serious accident in the Hudson River on the Jersey City Hoboken border with the loss of 5 lives. Thank you. Please be seated.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as follows. Posting notice of resolution 801-2025 on the County Commissioners Bulletin Board, first floor, Administration Building, Annex, Jersey City, New Jersey. Copies of the above-mentioned resolution have been sent to the county clerk and the editors of the Kearney Observer and the Star Ledger. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 11th meeting, 2025, and also the regular meeting of March 13th, 2025?
Second.
Daniel and Lipsky.
Commissioner Pontilivski?
Aye.
Commissioner Vasquez? Commissioner Cedeno?
Yes.
Commissioner Cifelli? Commissioner Lopez? Commissioner O'Day? Commissioner Rodriguez? Commissioner Walker? Chairman Romano?
Yes.
I have one laudatory. Recognize the month of April as Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month in the County of Hudson. Whereas on April 9th, 2018, Governor Philip D. Murphy signed AJR 93 SJR 218 by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey, designating the month of April of each year as Sikh Awareness Appreciation Month. And whereas the Hudson County Board of County Commissioners is proud to recognize and commemorate the monumental achievements of Sikh community and desires to recognize the month of April of each year as Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month. And whereas Sikhism is the world's 5th largest religion with nearly 30 million followers, including roughly 500,000 in the United States. And whereas Sikhism originally in Persia, India in the 15th century teaches its followers to practice the universal principles
Oh,
of truthful living, service to humanity, and devotion
Coulda
to God,
waited.
believing that every human being, regardless of race, gender, or creed, is equal in the eyes of God. Sikhism is credited as a pioneer of social justice, with female participation in religious ceremonies being widely encouraged. And whereas the Sikh community began arriving in the United States in the late 1800s, making invaluable contributions to the growth and prosperity of our community while enriching America's culture, history, economy, diversity, including former New Jersey Attorney General Hular G. Gural and Hoboken Mayor Ravadir Balha. And whereas the religious emphasis on the living service to humanity inspires practicing members of the Sikh community to engage in lasting social contributions, such as providing free food to less fortunate through the annual Let's Share a Meal event in Jersey City, and in our Nam Jata Gardara, a place of communal service that provides community activities and events in Jersey City. And whereas the Sikh community commonly experiences discrimination, with Sikh children experiencing school bullying and enduring some form of physical or verbal abuse while at school. These attacks are rooted in anti-Sikh hate and have seen an increase in recent years, with many people erroneously associating Sikhs' uncut beards and traditional turbans with religious radical groups. Whereas there is a need for public education and discourse to promote awareness of the invaluable contributions of the Sikh community to combat religious discrimination and bigotry in our society. And whereas through its efforts, the Sikh community helps provide
Can you hear everybody?
20,000 meals to 39 homeless shelters across the tri-state area, and Let's Share a Meal provides over 10,000 meals each time. Now therefore be it resolved by the Hudson County Board of Commissioners that in conjunction with the County Executive Craig Guy, this board hereby proclaims that the month of April of each year shall be designated as Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month in the County of Hudson and the State of New Jersey. May I have a first and second on that, please? Board? Whole board.
Here, check out the full house we got here. It's a welfare division workers.
Commissioner
right
Vasquez? Commissioner Cedeno? Commissioner Cifelli?
here. They have some new faces for
Commissioner
sheriff. here.
Lopez?
Actually, no, he's one I saw before.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
A lot of people here
Yes. Commissioner
to
Walker?
redress the government.
Chairperson Romano? Yes. Thank you.
I think is there
Yes.
Representative.
Arjuna?
members of Hudson County. Today, we gather here to celebrate a moment of profound significance, Sikh Heritage Month. This month is not merely a designation on our calendars, but a vibrant celebration of the rich tapestry of Sikh culture and the invaluable contributions that Sikhs have made to the fabric of our society. It is a time to honor the principles of equality, justice, and service that are central to Sikh teachings and to recognize the beautiful diversity that enriches our community. I am proud to have initiated the recognition of Sikh Heritage Month in September 2023, a journey that has taken me to all 12 towns of Hudson County. I am delighted to announce that 8 of those towns have already passed resolution in support of this important initiative, with the remaining 4 actively working towards similar recognition. I am also doing events in libraries, colleges, and schools. This marks the second proclamation for Sikh Heritage Month from our county, a testament to our collective efforts in promoting cultural understanding and appreciation. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Commissioner Bilode, who, upon my outreach, immediately stepped forward as a primary sponsor of this bill. Your support, Commissioner, has been crucial in bringing this initiative to life. Moreover, I would like to express sincere appreciation to Hudson County Executive Craig Guy, Commissioner and Chairperson Mr. Anthony Romano, Commissioner Erida Pontelivsky, Commissioner Fenny, Commissioner Jerry Walker, Commissioner Kenneth Copes, and Commissioner Robert Beslice, and Clerk Miss Mayor Carol Jean Doyle for your support, and all those who have championed this cause. Your dedication to fostering a diverse and inclusive community is truly inspiring. In conjunction with our celebration, I want to highlight the Let's Share a Meal initiative founded under the visionary leadership of Mr. Omkar Singh Ji. This initiative embodies the spirit of selfless service, as we have successfully prepared and delivered over 10,000 meals across the tri-state areas to shelters, homeless, and those in need. This remarkable effort showcases the power of community and compassion, reflecting the core values of Sikhism, service to humanity, and the importance of caring for one another. As we celebrate Sikh Heritage Month, let us take this opportunity to reflect on the teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who emphasized equality among all people, regardless of their backgrounds. Sikhism teaches us about the oneness of humanity, the importance of honest living, and the necessity of sharing our blessings and others. Let us remember the sacrifice made by countless individuals who have come before us, paving the way for a future where diversity is embraced and celebrated. Together, let us foster an environment where cultural appreciation thrives, where we learn from one another, and where our differences become the very foundation of our strength. This month is not just a celebration of Sikh heritage, it is a call to action for all of us to stand united in our commitment to justice, equality, and love for our fellow human being. Thank you for being part of extraordinary celebrations for Sikh Heritage Month. Let us continue to work hand in hand, building a brighter, more inclusive future for Hudson County and beyond. Thank you, Arjuman Juveria, pharmacist and community activist, recently honored with Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from our former President Joe Biden. I'm also New Jersey Governor's Medallion Awardee from our Governor Phil Murphy. I'm a Women of Action Award from Jersey City, and also Daily Point of Light Award founded by George H.W. Bush Award. Thank you.
Yeah, and half the crowd is with this group here.
Want to get this one? I forgot the other.
Absolutely. Yes, my pleasure. All right, I'm going to take a picture for everyone here. Okay. Here we go. Make sure I get everyone in here. I'm the resident photographer of the Hudson County Commissioners. Okay.
All right.
My pleasure.
We get everybody,
Get a smile.
All right, I took that picture. And stay tuned, everyone. This is going to be a good meeting. I got a feeling it's going to be a really good meeting. And usually these meetings go very quickly. And
We may too also, as some people are standing.
That's a yeller.
Let's also stand for, since we have so many members in Hudson County, the Dominican American community, if the tragedy happens to be us, we ask for a moment of silence. For those victims also at the, Thank you all again. Thank you.
Pat, I'll tell you, Pat, you should do your show next week on the television month. You should invite some of the leaders.
Mayor Stack would not do a post or a condolence about the Dominican tragedy until I did it. I had to shame him into it. 3 hours later, he did that. Or Rob Fuller. Leroy asked for a photo with Fanny and Romano. Send it to Stacks. Funny. Yep, I hear you, Frank. Exactly.
The next order of business is additional discussion on today's agenda, and I turn it over to the administration.
That's Fanny's, I mean, that's Carol Jean Doyle.
According to the policy set by the Board of County Commissioners, members of the public are asked to limit their comments to 5 minutes when discussing agenda items, and 3 minutes at the conclusion of the meeting.
No, this is the agenda.
Written request.
5 minutes for agenda items, 3 minutes for petition the government. It's
At this time, the public
ridiculous.
may address the board on any item on the agenda only. Please keep your comments limited to 5 minutes. Are there any speakers on the agenda item only? Is Adam Jaeger here? Yes. This would be your opportunity to speak on the agenda item.
Adam, make sure you inform all the board that upon unfortunate demise of Gary Greenberg, who now inherited position.
Good evening, everyone. Adam Jaeger, Boys and Girls Club, here for our summer basketball leagues. As always, 3 sites: Lincoln Park, Washington Park, Hoboken Boys and Girls Club. And we have with us Jerry Harley, who runs our Lincoln Park League, longtime Boys and Girls Club employee, and our new interim executive director, CEO, as of Monday, Greg Reinholdt. Okay. So we're happy to be running the basketball leagues again this summer, at the 3 sites mentioned.
Phil had a question.
Yeah, I just want
Yeah.
to make sure that, I spoke to Jonathan earlier, so one of my issues related to cost, he addressed that it's a not to exceed number, not an exact amount.
Oh, free for all participants.
No,
it's not to, correct, not to exceed, correct.
We're allocated for it, it's not a fixed number, but a not to exceed number. But they had a concern over the amount that it was being increased, because he explained to me that that's a not to exceed number, but they don't expect that to spend it, so I trust him, and we'll obviously check at the end of it. Yeah, the other was, I just wanna make sure that, and I spoke to Jonathan also, that I just get, I guess, a PDF of your flyers so we can start to get it out.
Yeah,
I
we could.
know that you guys do a great job in, like, county gardens and stuff, but I think there are other sections of the town I'd like to make sure I get information.
Absolutely. We have our flyer. We can send you that tomorrow. Yeah, all the commissioners and
3 things I have as we continue the process that was in 2 years ago, and Gary did registration so we can chart the children we know we have in the program, how many they are for our statistical analysis. That's number 1. Number 2, if the new CEO would also introduce himself to us and give us and either by email, how one can communicate with you, questions.
Certainly.
And you're Seton Hall, right?
I am. I'm a Seton Hall guy. That's right. I don't know, Jerry and I can talk to you about that later on, but Actually, this is a return home for me. My name's Greg Reinhold. I've been in Boys and Girls Clubs for about 40 years. In 1988, I ran the Hoboken Boys Club. So this is a homecoming for me. I'm glad to be back and to help out with the club in a difficult time. So we're happy to be here.
And you send everybody your
Well, I'll send all the contact information. Anybody on the council that wants to get a hold of me, they'll have my cell phone, my email, and the office number as well.
You're not using the courts by the housing authority in Hoboken or the buy them?
No, just like the last couple years, Boys and Girls Club has a great outdoor core and as well as an indoor core, so we can utilize both, especially when it rains. So we'll be at the club.
Buy them too, it's included, right, Coach?
Yeah,
No, we haven't.
we had the viaduct, but
It was too far.
They was transferring the kids so
It's
that's-
too-
we had moved it to the housing project
So it's in the
years
PJs,
ago.
it's gonna be in the project.
No, we've been at Boys and Girls Club because we have the outdoor and indoor core, and it's the easiest for the kids that
When
we
it rain-
serve to get right over
When it
there.
rain or something, we go inside
Yeah.
inside the gym.
Any commissioners, any questions?
If
Good luck and keep us updated.
Yeah, and the key thing, it's a special year. Gary Greenberg, our longtime executive director, CEO, was in his 50th year of service. It's just incredible. So we're inspired by his legacy, especially when it relates to basketball. He's done a ton of things in Jersey City for youth basketball, and we are so inspired this year to keep his memory going.
Get the information so we can do a proclamation for the family.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one. And would you name, I would assume maybe a championship award after him or something?
Absolutely, and everybody will be invited to our end of the year final tournament game and celebration that we do. Trophies, food, parents, but everybody's going to be invited and know those dates.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Continue, Madam Clerk.
Are there additional speakers on the agenda item only? Being none, may I have a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda? A second. Commissioner Pontilivski. Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Cedeno. Commissioner Cifelli. Commissioner Lopez. Commissioner O'Day.
What number is she had two things. What number is the resolution on ethics, on the juvenile detention? No one else. The agreement with the ethics juvenile detention facility. All the facilities.
Number 18.
So we vote no on 18 because I think that cost per day, based on the services that facility provides, is not defensible. And,
Is that the only one, Commissioner?
hold on just a second.
Sorry, Julia, what's the number of, with the amending of the park rules and regulations?
That's an ordinance, right?
Yeah, what number is that?
Because I gotta say, I'll vote aye on the rest, but 18
agenda items.
18 is a no.
Yeah.
no.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker? Chairman Romano? We have 3 ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 1 is amending Chapter 200, Article 8.11 of the Administrative Code to establish a restricted parking space on John F. Kennedy Boulevard, City of Jersey City for Rose M. Davis. We have a roll call on this one. Commissioner Pontilivski? Commissioner Vasquez? Commissioner Cedeno? Commissioner Cifelli? Commissioner Lopez? Commissioner O'Day? Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker? Chairman Romano?
Yes.
The ordinance has been introduced. Ordinance 2, ordinance amending Chapter 200, Article 8.11 of the Administrative Code to establish a restricted parking space on Willow Avenue, City of Hoboken for Rena M. Ramirez. Roll call on this. Commissioner Pontilivski? Commissioner Vasquez? Commissioner Cedeno? Commissioner Cifelli? Commissioner Lopez? Commissioner O'Day? Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Commissioner Walker? Chairman Romano?
Yes.
The ordinance has been introduced. Ordinance 3 is an ordinance amending Chapter 200, Article 27 of the Administrative Code to establish traffic calming devices, delineators on Passaic Avenue in the borough of East Newark. Commissioner Pontilivski? Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Cedeno. Yes. Commissioner Cifelli. Yes. Commissioner Lopez. Yes. Commissioner O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Chairman Romano.
Yes.
The ordinance has been introduced. We have two ordinances for a second reading. This is also the time for public hearing. It's fixed for the public hearing of this ordinance. Let me just read that. Ordinance amending the administrative code regarding the rules and regulations governing the use, care, and protection of county parks. This is the time fixed for the public hearing of this ordinance, which was introduced on the meeting of March 27, 2025, advertised as required by law, together with a notice of hearing for this time. It's been posted on the County Commissioners Bulletin Board and made available to the general public. Are there any speakers on this ordinance?
Motion to close.
Motion to close the hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On the final adoption.
Madam Chair, Madam Clerk, I should say. The administration would request that there be a deletion of one of the areas covered by the ordinance, specifically Lot 2, which is referenced in the area captioned parking, and that would be between the compounds and the diamond 10 and 11. The request is that be deleted from the ordinance. I do not believe it's a substantive and material change to the ordinance, so if it's
Make a motion to delete.
the amendment, if the ordinance can be adopted. Not there.
Make a motion to delete.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call on the final adoption. Commissioner Pontilivski.
Aye.
Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Cedeno.
That's a good one, Leo.
Commissioner
Right, tell him
Cifelli.
pass the bill on new mics.
Commissioner Lopez.
Yeah, you can't hear it.
Commissioner O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker. Chairman Romano.
Yes, what number? That's
Say one.
That was number one.
A1.
Just for the record, expect now that Belmont Avenue between the fountain and the boulevard will be packed with cars from 7 to 9 a.m. because people will move their cars from the lot, from either of those two lots.
Yeah, do a little closer for you there.
Closest location where they can move their cars. But at least those cars that just stay there forever will be able to.
You see Jerry Walker there, by the way? He's an ex-basketball player. I thought he was a good guy.
Ordinance
We were supposed to meet privately.
Ordinance amending the
Then,
Hudson County
turns out he's supporting
Administrative
someone
Code
who Brian
pursuant
Stack
to the
supports
applicable
for sheriff.
provisions of
The famous
optional
sexter,
county charter
Mayor
law
Jimmy Davis.
NJSA
And then he canceled the meeting.
40:41A-1. This is
Inexplicably.
the time fixed for the public hearing on this ordinance, which was introduced at the meeting of March 27, 2025, advertised as required by law, together with a notice of hearing for this time. It's been posted on the County Commissioners Bulletin Board and made available to the general public. Are there any speakers on this ordinance? I see none. Motion to close the hearing? Motion. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? On the final adoption, Commissioner Pontilivski. Commissioner Vasquez. Commissioner Cedeno. Yes. Commissioner Cifelli. Yes. Commissioner Lopez. Commissioner O'Day.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Commissioner Walker. Chairman Romano.
Yes.
The ordinance has been adopted. This concludes the items of business on today's agenda. Are there any comments from the commissioners on the business of the board?
I have, 3 items. First item relates to, the resolution that I thought was gonna be on the agenda, that I had spoke to Frank Masley yesterday. He said that he was sending the information over to the administrator and I believe someone else, but I never saw the resolution. No, I know, but he had said he had forwarded.
I did receive it, Commissioner.
You sure it's 48 hours? 40
I
hours
mean, I
before the
think it's a
meeting?
pressing issue, so I'm
24.
gonna put it on the record.
You know, Commissioner, if you want to make a floor resolution, I mean, I'm fine with what.
Yeah, so I would just wanna make a resolution from the floor, and I'll just give a quick overview of what it is. So, because the federal government issues EBT cards that don't have a chip in them, there's a immense amount of theft. The ability to skim off of those cards is horrendous. It happens all the time. And up to now, the government would simply replace them. They would do a very cursory investigation to make sure that the person didn't do it themselves, and they would give them the money. The federal government said they ain't doing that anymore. And the federal government also isn't moving to put chips in the cars. So individuals are now gonna be screwed because they have no way to recoup their dollars. And these are often those people that are most in need. So, you know, the world we live in extremes of just giving the money right back and not worrying about it, and not giving anyone the money, regardless of the fact that they have nothing to do with the problem, and failing to do their chips, puts us in a very bad situation, because those individuals are gonna have to come in dire financial state. So the resolution I want to do, because if we wait, I could call on the federal government to do it, but there's 100 things I could call on the federal government to do that they're not gonna do. So the resolution I want to make is a resolution calling on Governor Murphy and the state of New Jersey to immediately, even if it's at their own cost, incur the cost of producing and issuing EBT cards that have chips. The amount of money that will be saved from that loss will be saved probably within a month. So I think it's a no-brainer. We can spend the next 6 months pointing fingers to the federal government, pointing out that in their short-sightedness, their vendors, these are the two
Is that any better? Can you hear?
vendors can produce and make cards with chips, which is stupid in today's day and age that they haven't figured that out. So I want to make a resolution from the floor calling on Governor Murphy in the state of New Jersey to, as soon as possible, create.
Governor Murphy's so dirty, allegedly.
EBT cards throughout those eligible in the state of New Jersey that include the chips in order to protect against skimming that's currently occurring, and beginning, I guess, April 1, is no longer able to be reimbursed to those individuals to whom the skimming has been perpetrated against. So I make that as a motion.
This will be number 28. I need a first and a second.
I moved and Jerry second.
This on the pending resolution. Commissioner Pontilivski. Commissioner Basleys.
Yes.
Commissioner Cedeno. Yes.
They're getting close to the public speaking part soon. Stay tuned.
Lopez. Commissioner O'Day.
You'll be able to hear we the people who address the government.
Yes. Commissioner Walker.
Yes.
Chairman Romano.
Yes.
My second item is that.
Forgive God, that's actually in suspension right now, that endorsement. I found some new things out.
Some information from some community leaders concerning the courthouse park project. And I don't want to spend a lot of time today, but I think that through that committee, we need to get an update, address those issues raised within that memo that I forwarded to you, and then hopefully sign that document, I guess, because the city can't do anything until that document gets signed, correct?
Correct, that's being reviewed. All they did was send me that form. There's items that need to be attached to it, but we're working on it, and that should happen
So
shortly.
hopefully we can get that done before the next committee.
Thank you, Daisy May. Really appreciate you.
And David Rumford will attend and be able to brief you on those issues.
The young lady, he's gonna meet with her. Okay.
That's the screamer, Anthony
Are
Romano.
there any
He
comments
hates the
from
First
chief of
Amendment.
staff to the county executive? Thank you. To the public, this is the time for persons who submitted a timely written request to address the board on any matter of public interest. Please remember to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Chairman, I have Laura Moss as the first speaker.
Good afternoon. My name's Laura Moss. I'm the president of the Courthouse Park Advocacy Group. We represent the community's interest regarding the park plan for the site of 595 Newark Avenue. I'm here tonight to highlight some of the concerns about the county's transition to the new Guarini Justice Complex and its broader impact on our community. First, while we understand the county may not have an exact move-in date, we believe it's reasonable to establish a clear and realistic timeline within a 1 month window for when the Guarini complex will be fully operational. This clarity is essential for our planning and to minimize delays. Second, we're asking for some firm assurances that the county's move will include a full and simultaneous vacating of the current 595 Newark Avenue site, including all the parking areas. Any delays or staggered transitions will result in financial consequences for Jersey City and push back the construction of the long-promised park. The county should be aware that Jersey City has already received RFPs for the demolition of the existing building and the creation of the new park. These proposals come with expiration dates, and costs will only increase if there are further delays. It would be unfair to expect Jersey City residents to absorb these extra expenses should they occur. We're also requesting information regarding the decommissioning of the on-site power station. We're interested in potentially repurposing that space for public restrooms, a vendor cafe, and park maintenance storage. We'd like some clarity on the legal, structural, and logistical feasibility of incorporating this facility into the park, understanding fully that it would not be deeded over to Jersey City and it would stay attached to the Brennan Courthouse property. Another pressing matter is the underground parking garage underneath the administrative building currently, and the fate of that needs to be addressed in order to keep the park project on schedule. And regarding parking at the new Guarini complex, we understand the garage falls short of the original recommended 1,300 spaces, as only 500 spaces are in the new garage. The county has never explained this discrepancy, and the residents continue to be burdened with county employees parking illegally and abusing the official business placards, parking personal vehicles in the zone 2 residential spots, as well as on the metered spots along Newark Avenue. Also requesting an update on the affidavit, which is, as Commissioner O'Day has brought up. In finishing, the Courthouse Park Advocacy Group views this project as a shared investment between Jersey City and Hudson County, one that will benefit the residents, the employees of the county, and visitors alike for decades to come, and it'll transform this neighborhood. So we're just urging you to help us keep this on track. Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Leroy Truth.
Laura, just
Yes.
so next meeting is what date? April 22nd at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Extend you an invitation.
Thank you very much, and David Drumler has spoken to me, so I'll be meeting with him. Thank you.
Leroy Truth.
Hi, my name is Sean Paul Reyes. I'm an independent journalist and activist. I was asked to speak by the Family Services employees that are being mistreated. They asked me to come down here. I came here to sign up to the meeting today, and I was told that I couldn't sign up. That is an unreasonable, Chairman, that is an unreasonable restriction on the First Amendment. That is an unreasonable restriction on the First Amendment. I was asked to come here. I was asked to come here by people that work in this government that are being mistreated. They're not being paid. They asked me to come here. They're working in poor. They are asking to be working in good working conditions without mold, without pests. They're asking to get their back pay. They asked me to come over here and speak to each and every one of you. I tried to sign up earlier. It is unreasonable restriction to make somebody 24 hours in advance sign up. It is an unreasonable restriction on the First Amendment. I would like to speak. I have a right to speak. I have tried to sign up to speak. I have tried to sign up. Not 24 hours in advance. I tried to submit my name to speak. I tried to submit my name to speak. They would not allow me to speak.
What are you yelling at me for?
Because you're taking my property here.
Sir, I would like to
Property's not
speak.
county property. I understand, but you've been asked to leave, and you haven't signed up for the meeting.
I tried to sign up earlier today. It's an unreasonable restriction on the First Amendment. Right, but in 2 weeks,
So,
this is something that's going on right now.
It's Mr. Truth's turn to speak, and you can't just overstep his ability
Well,
to speak right now.
they can't just overstep my First Amendment right to speak. I have a right to speak at this meeting. I'll speak at the end, but I want to speak.
Well, right now, it's Mr. Truth's
I
turn
can't
to
speak, Mr. Chairman. I can't speak. I tried to sign up today. They wouldn't allow me. And now you're surrounding me with law enforcement. I was asked to come here by the Family Services employees.
It's Mr. Truth's turn to speak.
If I don't leave, are you going to remove me?
I'm not going to remove you. I'm asking you to please sit down and let Mr. Truth have his time with that is 3 minutes that he signed up for. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to speak. The procedure is unreasonable. Why can't I just speak about what's going on in the Family Services Department?
Thank you.
This is ridiculous. Go ahead, Leroy. Do what you do best, man. This is ridiculous.
Right.
Drove all the way
That
out
was
here to
wrong, ladies and
speak.
gentlemen. No
And I
one
can't speak.
should be forced to do that.
I oppose making you have to sign up 24 hours.
It's unreasonable restriction.
I'm sorry, sir, I'm speaking. I oppose that when it occurred. However, anyone who signed up ahead of time would have been allowed to speak before the last gentleman who went out of turn. What would have been appropriate for that individual to do is after all the people who signed up were finished speaking, to ask if they'd be allowed to speak. Now, my gut tells me I wouldn't have had enough votes for you to be able to speak, but I would, for any member of the public, make a motion to allow you to speak. But what you did was jump in the middle in front of 17 people
He is
who signed up ahead of time.
he's
That was
copsplaining right now.
two wrongs,
That's
don't make a right.
not right.
What
That's
would have been
unconstitutional what they're
correct
doing.
is for you to wait to allow the other-
This is wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
You just said it yourself, sir. I wouldn't have been able to
And
speak
at that
anyway.
point in time- See, now you're interrupting me. I did not interrupt you.
This
sir.
is a
Did I?
mess. He's messing
Thank
up
you.
this bill
And
of
at
day.
that
body
point in
did.
time, say, I was
Of all
not able
people.
to sign up. I don't agree with the fact that I should have to wait that long, but
It's
can I be
unconstitutional.
allowed to speak? If you do that, I'll make the motion to allow you to speak. Hopefully I get a second and the board votes on it, but that's the way it should work. Not cutting the line in front of 17 others.
All right, we're going to let Leroy speak now. I made my point about their unreasonable violation.
Hello, Hudson County Commissioners. And I've got a question for everyone here. How many people want their hazard pay? I support them 100%, not only for their hazard pay. Why is this taking 4 years to get their hazard pay, as well as humane working conditions in the place where they work? I went there, scores of people asked me to go there to the building where they worked last week. I went and I found what appeared to be major mold. I did most of my report with that mold. Less than 24 hours after that, I was sick. I just got better today. I'm feeling a lot better today. They got to work in that every single freaking day. Address it. Send someone over there. Check that out. Watch my video. You'll see exactly where it is. Now, second thing I want to talk about. Commissioners and Fanny Sedano. Let's get straight to it. Breaking news. Fanny Sedano, you need to resign immediately. And Brian Stack is next. Now, this is not personal, by the way. This is all, you're probably a very nice person. You see, Fanny Sedano isn't just any Hudson County commissioner. No, no, no. She's the confidential personal secretary to Mayor and Senator Brian Stack, a position that sounds less like a public servant and more like someone sneaking classified documents into a shredder after midnight. Confidential secretary, that was one of the things that you believe ran on as qualification. What, Brian, a regular secretary wasn't good enough for you? And now he got you installed a few years ago as county commissioner so he could be the county commissioner ghost controlling you. Because apparently when you're running a political crime syndicate, you don't need qualifications. You just need loyalty, fetch the lunch, file the forms, cover up the scandals, then boom! Congratulations, you're now a commissioner. Who knew public service came with an employee discount? Now let me ask a serious question. What are Fanny Cedeno's qualifications? No one seems to know. She doesn't represent the people, she represents her puppet master Stack. Stack is here even when he's not here. But you know, I'm gonna invite you, Fanny, after this meeting, I'm live streaming now, come to me, confess the sins of Brian Stack. Turn state evidence. You will feel better. You are probably a very good woman. You will, of course, be immediately fired by Stack, but he will be immediately indicted. And you will be on every talk show host. Good Morning America, Sean Long Island Audit, Leroy Truth Investigations, and Today's Show. So confess your sins, and I'm here for you. God bless you.
Next speaker is Tawana Mayer.
On the issue of mold that was raised by the speaker, do we have someone from Public Resources that wants to address that? So there was someone from the union that was allowed to attend the committee meeting on Tuesday. So, Mr. Sachs or Denise?
Ralph Sachs, Worthing Public Property. I did meet with Mazetta Matthews the other day, and we spoke, and I showed her the different...
Is there a mic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that okay? Okay. And we spoke and we discussed what was happening on the 5th floor and 6th floor. From September of last year, we had the environmental company come in, did an air quality test, found there was some mold above the ceiling. We immediately had the abatement company come in, and over 3 weekends...
There was mold, see that?
They completed
That's what I got sick from.
A cleanup of everything. There was never any elevated mold levels under the ceiling. It was only above.
That's what they say. I got sick.
So Ralph.
Sounds like you're lying.
The video says otherwise, sir. Please. So Ralph, if there are areas that individuals assert and provide you visuals of mold in the building, will you be alleged mold? Will you have tests done again?
We do. As a matter of fact, I have testing going on today.
On what floor? What area?
3rd floor, 5th floor, and 6th floor. Oh, sorry.
So individuals are now...
5th floor and 6th floor.
So individuals here today are asserting that the 3rd floor also needs to be tested. So I would suggest and recommend that you have those areas on the 3rd floor, since you already have people there done tomorrow.
It's being tested as we speak.
No, the 3rd floor.
3rd floor.
So 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th?
Down in
I think that's the one I got sick from.
People have spoken. But he's got to send people to areas to test, right? You got to tell me every area where there is. I mean, otherwise you got to walk the entire building with air testing, take some. But you got to identify the areas where
The fence is black. The fence is black. All right, time out. Tawana Mayer.
The fence is black. Every vent in the building is black.
Majority, yes.
We asked the director to check.
Yeah, we got to check it ourselves. We don't trust them.
Tawana Mayer.
Tawana's good.
I'm gonna get you, Mr. Leroy, because you got me on your thumbnail pinned to my channel, okay, so I can grow as well as a YouTuber.
I'm happy to do that, Tawana.
You're not gonna get the bag on my account.
That was golden.
Commissioners, it's nice to see you all, and I'm gonna say this to my Hudson County Division of Welfare family. This is my last time. I refuse to come here every month or whatever just to pontificate, and there's no resolve. What he said about the mold, it's true. This building is filthy. The truth of the matter is it needs to be condemned. That's probably why Block Drug got out of there. The mice are running rampant, right? They're running rampant. And Miss Yang, because she just feels like she's just the best thing since a pocket, the division chief, she tells the supervisors, just check the desk to make sure nobody's leaving food. No, those mice been there since it was block drug. These are descendants of the mice that were there before we got there. We need either satellite buildings or the agency needs its own building. Or work from home until these problems are resolved. The building is disgusting. The building, it really is. If you come, I implore you all to please just come and see the filth and the dirt. I've spoke to people. Please get a private company. What these young men do is they come and they take out the trash. And that's it. The grime literally is this thick. The walls, I told Mr. Mazza, I said, you have a degree in psychology, therefore you know that your work surroundings, if they are decent, the work can be done in a more productive manner. It's conducive to the work performance. So I guess we ran Mazza out of town on vacation. No disrespect to him, because we've been under his window. No, that's my friend too. But we've been under his window. We're trying to make some noise, but I refuse. I just, who do we speak to outside of commissioners? Is there somebody else? Because I just feel like the buck stops here and nothing's gonna happen. Could you all point us in a direction to where we need to go? Because I feel like, and the looks on your faces, as if we are bothering you all. I don't want to come here and bother anyone. But I need to know, who do we speak to get some resolve? We work in filthy work conditions. I'm going to touch real quick on this hazard pay money again. Where's the money? Nobody knows where this money is. Is this where those higher ups with all that overtime, is that where the money went? Because what they made in overtime is more than my salary. Tell us where to go and who to speak to for help.
About the exterminating company that you brought in, please. Okay.
I mean, we have a representative here
So
from.
there's a new exterminating company that was recently hired, and that Ralph and I requested me as that individual to attend today so they can listen to the where, when, why, and extent of what I think even they admit is a serious infestation.
They wouldn't do anything if it wasn't for us. Nothing.
Good evening, Commissioners. I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I stand before you to speak on behalf of the hardworking men and women who serve as Hudson County welfare workers, myself included. We're dedicated public servants. We are the backbone of our community, ensuring that our most vulnerable residents, those struggling with poverty, illness, and hardship, receive the assistance they need to survive and thrive. Yet, despite our vital work, we are undervalued, underappreciated, and forced to work in conditions that no one should ever have to endure. Let me begin by telling you the truth that too often goes unspoken. Hudson County welfare employees are working under deplorable conditions, which have already been pointed out. We're tasked with high caseloads, often exceeding what is reasonable, with very little to no support. Many are working in outdated facilities or offices with outdated equipment. The infrastructure itself is crumbling and resources are scarce. We are expected to be the first line of support for our community's most vulnerable. Yet the tools we are given, whether that be in terms of technology, staffing, or even adequate ventilation, are insufficient at best, and at worst, crippling. What's worse is that we're not compensated in a manner befitting the demands placed upon us. The average welfare worker in Hudson County is earning far less than they should be, often struggling to make ends meet despite the incredible emotional and physical toll of our jobs. In fact, many of us are forced to take second jobs just to keep our heads above water. This is the reality of being a welfare worker in Hudson County. This environment we are allowing our public servants to work in. The constant stress, the emotional strain, the long hours, the outdated system, it's all taking a toll. And yet, despite all of this, we continue to show up day in and day out because we believe in the mission. We believe in helping others. We believe in working. We believe that what we do is valuable. But there's only so much that we can give before we burn out. We are seeing it happen in real time. The employee turnover, it's just too high for a government job. The morale is extremely low if you can find it. And the ones who remained are stretched too thin. We must ask ourselves, how can we continue to ask these workers to carry so much, an immense burden, while we provide them with little, or rather, almost nothing as a paycheck? That is the pay we get, a paycheck that falls far too short for our value. How can we expect the best care for our most vulnerable when we're not giving those on the front line tools the pay and the respect they need to do their jobs effectively?
Next speaker is Nina Jasky.
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, basically I'm saying the same thing that last week we were requesting, and just fellow worker is saying the same thing. So basically what she's saying, we're talking about the struggle we have and make the ends meet because we are underpaid, that's for sure. With this 52,000 people, not even 1% can live in Hudson County anymore. The pandemic also highlighted our essential role, but compassion doesn't reflect our value. Like what we do, it doesn't even value. We were promised to grant funding support us during this challenging time, but unfortunately, our department was left out. We are not asking for hands out. We are asking fair compensation for our hard work. We deserve to be recognized and supported. We urge to consider our situation and take in action. We need a fair share of the grant funding acknowledged and our contribution. And we got like a few excuses about not getting the grant, like saying that one of the was union, that we were not in the union, that's why we didn't get paid. But when the grant was given to the county, that time they didn't ask that if the workers are in the union or not, they're still given the grant. So why this excuse is coming now? Because you are not in the union, that's why you're not getting it. And who allowed to give that list, and how come they approved that list of people of 90 or 97 people to give them? How this list is coming from? Our department, our personal department knows how many people are working and how many people supposed to receive this money, but they still went ahead making all these excuses that nobody have answer for it. So it's just, we need an answer. Like, are we gonna get it or no, or what happened? Like, this is the answer we are looking, and we are struggling to find the answer. Like, you can read a Bible to find out what Jesus is being told, or in my religion, in Hindu, what is being told, but we are not getting any answer. And we are like just a human being, and everybody knows like we can talk to a human being, but we are not getting answer. Who we can we reach? Not our personal department, no one. No one have answer. If you ask them a question, if you send them an email, it's a trouble, it's a problem. They're gonna look after you, they're gonna look into the camera, they're gonna see what exactly you're doing, how many breaks you're taking, they're gonna be on you. They're gonna find you the way to retaliate you or write you up or something else. So everybody is afraid. There are more people wants to come here and say things to all of you to see what's going on, but everybody's afraid because they need job, they need to run their family, they need money. And everybody knows this very well, that it's hard. It's hard to live in Hudson County. The Hudson County is not the same anymore like it was 10 years ago. It's totally different now. The rent is nothing less than $2,000. That is also a studio apartment. So tell me, my salary is $53,000, okay? That is my yearly salary. You think I can live with a 1% without kids? No, it's not possible. So just, we need some answer, please. We need some answer. Thank you.
Good job. Thanks everyone for joining me here. Call of Duty Auditor, welcome. South Jersey News, welcome. Make sure to subscribe to South Jersey News.
Hi. I'd like to give my minutes to Ada
so she can speak on my behalf, please.
Good evening, everyone. Ada Weidman here. Yeah, we're going to discuss this hazard pay. About 5 years ago,
You're welcome, Sassy.
I've been here complaining about hazard pay, not being able to receive it. I just found an article that I've been looking for. It was from Hudson View, and the article is dated back March 29, 2021, and it states Hudson County employees plead to Hudson County their case to receive hazard pay. Now, this was a meeting that took place with Steve Tully. He is the executive director.
You're right. It
of
should be 6 minutes.
AFSCME, Council 63.
5 minutes, 6 minutes.
In this meeting,
6 minutes is
several
better.
of you other committees, including Mr. Anton, sat in this meeting to discuss arrangements or initiated it.
They should pay the interest on what they owe.
When we asked about this hazard pay, nobody seems to know anything. So I'm gonna bring it to your
Please smash the like button, everybody.
Mr. Tully stated that the county tried to negotiate with him. I don't know why I'm
Maybe
nervous.
Sassy.
The county.
Stay tuned in case Sean speaks. Stay
The
clairvoyant.
county tried to
See if Sean
negotiate
speaks.
with the AFSCME in regards to determining how much they were going to receive. In that time, oh my God, I don't feel good. Okay. In that time, the county reneged, came back to the table and stated that we are not going to, we're taking this off the table. Mr. Tully told the county that how can you take it off the table when 2020
Let's see if
you
they let him
received $117 million
Forgive God.
Hazard Rescue Plan Act. And then this year, 2021, you received $130 million.
Moly.
Okay? And you're taking an offer off the table regarding paying hazard pay. So I said all of that to say, where is the money?
Yeah, where'd the money go, everybody? Great job. Great job.
I had a question.
Yes.
I have a question. So, what title do you have? HH?
Investigator.
Oh, good. When
Ooh,
you get an
I like investigators.
HS1, 2, or 3 up, I just have a question to ask you about salary ranges and what year you get to your maximum salary.
Okay.
Chairman, the next speaker.
There's a range.
We stay at the minimum. We never go
Scalzo.
never go up.
Scalzo. Oh, we're Scalzo.
There's a reason for no reason. I've been there for 35 years, and I
Scalzo
don't even make
here.
50,000. That's shame.
Scalzo's not in the room, Chairman.
35 years.
The next speaker is
It'd be
Shanika
36
Smith.
years this year. Shanika Smith? Come on, Shanika.
I hear they're way underpaid. But the administrators are major paid.
Good evening. I want to address some important concerns regarding our work and recognition at Hudson County Department of Family Services, especially during the pandemic. While the signed contract states the time frame from March 1st to June 30th, 2020, many of us was already unsure of what was happening in our community long before that date. I remember showing up to work, even as clients continued to come into the building, often refusing phone interviews and entering our workspace, coughing in workers' face, exposing us to the unknown at that time. I remember the fear in children's eyes and recall March 13th and Governor Murphy's Executive Order Number 104, implementing social distancing and shutting down the schools effective March 16th. So I do understand why the county lawyers want to change the contract date to March 21st, 2020, to exclude the parents who have to prioritize the needs of families under tremendous stress. However, throughout our time at the agency, we faced exposure to the virus, and unfortunately, some of us became ill. I remember one coworker walked from Union City every day, only to get sick from a shared desk phone at work. Amid our struggles, I remember watching funds being allocated for COVID vaccine raffles. It begs the question, where's the recognition of those of us who continue to serve the community? I remember our former union president, Fran Cintron, saying that hazard/hero pay discussions was on hold until Craig Guy could take office. The April 2nd, 2025 press release
only get
from
3
Craig
minutes to
Guy
speak. It's
suggests that
insane.
favoritism still
Not
exists,
enough time.
with only 97
But they
workers
get
receiving
unlimited time
payments
to
out of
speak.
over 400. Even while ineligible members of other unions receive payments, and members in our union worked in a building and at home nonstop and are still not eligible. This imbalance is unfair to our new union president and the local 2306 board, especially when many who worked throughout the crisis have been excluded from the bonus. You should not allow Ms. Cintron to continue to pull the strings of the county and have absolute power. This is 2025 and this is a new board. Moreover, I challenge our commissioners. If we are merely paper pushers, as people often belittle our work and call us, I challenge you to let's see if assistant administrators, administrators, chiefs, and directors can process cases for 2 weeks to understand our daily challenges. I understand under the same constraints and conditions that they give to us. Not to take this out of context or to come off as racist, as I do have Native ancestry, but there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians in our work structures. And it's time for accountability. In the last week of demonstrations, I noticed directors driving in luxury cars and clients, while many of my coworkers cannot afford bus fare. HSS 1s and HSS 3 employees handle over 103,000 SNAP applications, yet are often dictated to by those who do not understand the workload. It's as if the higher-ups do not want us to progress. Despite all of this, we show up every day and provide essential services, often facing frustrated clients and being called everything but human and a child of God. It's time we receive the acknowledgement and compensation we deserve as our unwavering commitment. This is not just about money, but the culture of Hudson County Department of Family Services Education must change. Thank you. I am an HSS 3. And we never reached the high range. I asked that question to Ms. Cintron. I said, why do we all start at the same salary? If I'm at HSS 3 for 10 years, why does somebody who just became one 3 months ago get my same salary? I should have moved already.
Yeah.
She said the county wants to stay and have us all lower at the lower end.
Well, the time's expired, so I had asked that she provided me information. I said, look,
She's awesome.
I have a concern about that, because I've been provided information with other counties that have pretty large ranges. And I gotta do some investigation as to how those ranges work. Because I know a couple of speakers.
They get paid a whole bunch of money as commissioners, right?
I wanna find where we're losing them to.
Another county.
I know.
Yeah, Dave, she's awesome.
I know, but I wanna know what county, and when they go to those counties,
That's a,
where do they get?
it's one of the attorneys there.
Total.
He's a total DeLobo. They call it a DeLobo
For us
right here.
to
Attorney.
continue to have salary ranges when we're constantly losing individuals to other counties. So they've shared information with me that's now made me have a lot of questions that I need to do some research to understand how other counties operate. And then to the degree now that we're in contract
You're right, Julie.
negotiations,
Governor does.
we should start to address that. Because it makes no sense to
The mics are on, they're
the
just
young
not
lady that said
very
earlier,
loud.
she's still where she was 30-something years ago. I thank the good Lord you're still here. You probably could have
Well, then
left
do
us
something
with
about it. Don't
$20,000.
just talk about it. He likes to talk.
The next speaker is Raj.
They do nothing about it. That's Commissioner Bill O'Day. Reach him, tell him to put his actions where his mouth
I
is.
gave my time to Ada Weidman.
I'm back.
Didn't know that? Well, I
Okay,
wouldn't give my
where
time
I
away.
left off.
No, I'm not
About
gonna
the
do it.
millions and millions of dollars that this county received regarding the hazard pay. 117 million in 2020, another 130 million in 2021. I believe Mr. Savelli was a part of that arrangement, that meeting. Mr. Sean Diaz, is he in the house?
None of them care.
Mr.
Stop the
Sean
tyrants.
Diaz, he
Some of
was
them play
the
like they do,
one
but they
that
don't do
was
anything.
the representative of the county who made a
Good idea, South Jersey.
proposal to the local union. And he was the same one that took it off the table after receiving all that money. I came here when it first happened. I came here and I came to the podium, and I was inquiring about the hazard pay. During that time, Mr. Martinovich was still here. He was the director. He said that he never received the money, and we were supposed to go back to it the next month. He didn't show up the next month. So that following year, I continued again inquiring about the hazard pay, since we weren't told anything and no one was saying nothing. And we were again pushed away to the side. You're gonna have to speak to them.
Pay them their hazard pay.
Now, to my
They're begging
knowledge
for it
now,
for 4
I
years.
realize that
$2,500.
there's been talks for the past 5 years regarding this money. Talks amongst yourself instead of the people who do the actual work and who is the most deserving of it. Okay, and where we at now, we are at a point where they're telling us we are not going to get it. Now, if we are not going to get our portion of the hazard pay, wouldn't that be considered a breach? A breach of contract,
Yeah.
a breach of duty, a breach.
Yep. Damn right.
So I've done a little research, and I've been reading that other
That's a good
counties,
question, Rob.
for example, I believe Mercer County, they got $7,000.
It's their money. They were
Okay.
promised it.
$7,000. And they only got $73 million. $73 million.
Sounds fishy. Something's
But
fishy.
they paid all their employees, eligible employees, $7,000.
Stay tuned, everyone. It ain't done yet.
Our
And we're gonna see
money?
if they quote unquote let Sean's Long Island Audit speak. Let's see if they let him speak at the end. Like the one Commissioner Bill O'Day said.
Hold on, Mr. Administrator, can you find out for us from other counties and Ada cited one, the amount and under what circumstances those individuals received those funds?
She has got a copy. Look at that. See? Why don't the commissioners know this already? They've known this for 4 years, and they're making like, oh, we're going to help now. They've been begging us for 4 years for the money they were promised.
For now, I'm gonna.
They've got hundreds of millions of dollars from the federal government, American Rescue Act. They were supposed to, I heard, to get $14,000, then $7,000, then $2,500. And it was supposed to not be taxed. But now it turns out it's going to be taxed. So now, after taxes, that $2,500 turns into $1,600. For 4 years, they've been begging for this. Plus, no more cockroaches, no more mice, no more rat doo-doo, and mold in their buildings. There's nothing unreasonable. It's basic humanity from a first world country. Please smash the like button if you haven't. And anyone feels inspired to give a super chat, always appreciate it.
Chairman Romano,
Cash
before I
App,
get
or
my
PayPal.
minutes counted, I just have a quick question regarding the format of listing yourself to speak. I work for the Hudson County Department of Family Services, and I did send a request over with a list of speakers I needed to speak, and I was denied the fact that I could provide a list. That I was told that I had to provide, everyone who was on my list had to send individual requests. Why is that, Mr. Romano? Because a lot of people don't have access to computers that work with us, but go home and don't. But see, a lot of us don't know that. We were never told that. We were only told that we can email that. And where do we find this information as to how are the requirements and the format to do that?
Can we confirm that people call up? I've had instances where people called and were told they couldn't call.
Thank you.
then
That's
they
why
had
we're
to-
asking the
they had
question
to-
today.
They had to email it in, and then when they contacted me, I was able to help them. But I get clarity on that. Now, can anyone call on? Okay.
Okay, and where do they find this number that they can call? Okay.
795-6001.
Okay. Good evening, my name is Yahaira Garcia. I just provided everyone up there a brief questionnaire that I just wish someone to at least answer these questions for me. I'll start off reading. And these questions below are based on the theft of funds towards the county workers. As commissioners, what is your fiduciary duty to the employees of this county? Are you upholding it by allowing unequal distribution of federal or hazard pay funds? Are there legal guidelines to federal funding regulations that were bypassed when selecting who receives hazard pay? Were eligibility criteria documented and made transparent? Does it not violate public trust and legal standards to use COVID relief funds to reward certain departments and not others who were equally exposed to at risk? Is a selective distribution of hazard pay a form of workplace discrimination or favoritism? Has this been reviewed for compliance with state and federal labor laws? What legal oversight exists for the personnel department decision-making process? If that department fails in its duty to distribute benefits fairly, who holds them legally and accountable? Are public officials protected from accountability when they mismanage pandemic relief funds, or is there a pathway to legal recourse? Why has no external audits been done of how hazard pay was allocated? Shouldn't that be a standard part of financial transparency? What steps are in place to ensure transparency and equity in future funding distribution, and who oversees that those steps are followed? Can you, as the board, face liability for failing to intervene or investigate an issue affecting hundreds of employees who were denied compensation without clear justification? I read through these very quickly because I would like some answers in some of these questions. If you guys may, please elaborate. When my time finishes, it'll be answered? Okay. I finished. I read them all. I'm just waiting for my answer because when I came last week, I'm sorry, Commissioner Day, when I came last week, we used up our 3 minutes and then we were told that we can't answer because we used up all the minutes. So today I gave you guys minutes to speak back to me. I want everyone to, this is for the board, this is for commissioners, this is for everybody. This holds everybody in accountability here. We come here with our cries.
Why don't we give this to the administrator, and then they'll give us answers to put out to everybody.
And when will you provide, Mr. Romano, those answers to me?
Administrator, when can you get these questions, please?
And will these questions be in writing?
Go ahead.
These are the questions, but the process is, we work through the union. We don't deal directly with members of the union. Could you give these?
This is lawyers speak here.
But these are not union questions. These
Don
are
Batista, the
public
county
employee
lawyer.
questions. We don't need the union to have these questions answered. This is public employee questions. He's aware of that. He's an attorney, a lawyer. He knows that. He can answer us.
I can assure the board that whatever questions the union has, I will make certain that a response is given to the union.
Mr. Romano, I will show up here every meeting with the same list of questions, demanding questions to be answered. This is not a union-based matter. This is public employee information. We as public employees are asking these questions to be answered. It is not right what the county is doing to us county workers here. We
Amen.
also, we were told by Craig Guy that we're putting a burden on the taxpayers of Hudson County. We are taxpayers of Hudson County. We elect you guys up there. We demand to be heard and to have answers towards us. This is not right. This is not right.
The next speaker is Margaret Bird.
Heard about the ballot.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's vote. Let's make sure we be kind enough to make the
They're angry and they're expressing their emotions.
podium can speak without interruption. Thank you very much.
No one's being interrupted here.
Hello. Good evening, all. My time will be used to publicly respond to the statement County Executive Craig Guy released on April 2nd in response to Local 2306 protests for fair and equitable pay and the breach of contract as it pertains to our retention bonus. In regards to our expired contract, Guy blamed our union as the sole reason that we have been out of contract for 9 months, stating Hudson County has been diligent in our efforts to negotiate a new contract. We will continue negotiating in good faith. Diligent, effort, good faith. Who would use those words to describe a consistent 2 to 3% annual increase in salary we have received and continue to be offered? Someone who earns $216,700 a year and will never have to
Right,
protest
Ted.
for
Well, your
pennies.
paycheck
That's
to
who.
paycheck. Exactly.
What is being offered to us is simply not enough, and everyone involved knows that. We only ask to match our salaries to other counties with similar-sized client populations and have annual increases that reflect both cost of living and a raise for performance. Because if we continue to receive 2 to 3% within the next decade, many of us workers will not be able to afford to live in this county, let alone work for it. In regards to the retention bonus, note that our union has fought for hazard pay from the beginning from many federal aid, grants, state funds the county received during the pandemic, and instead we were offered a retention bonus, very different things, 4 years later by the county with no explanation of where or how this bonus would be funded. The county lawyers offered, wrote, and signed 3 contracts for the same payment for 3 unions, with 2306 being the last to sign. Guy stated a typographical error was made in the agreement documents, noting that the state stay-at-home order began on March 1st, 2020. This was clearly an unintended mistake, as Governor Murphy's executive order wasn't effective until March 21st of 2020. However, it is imperative to emphasize that the retention bonus contract makes no mention of the pandemic, COVID-19, the stay-at-home order, Executive Order 107, Murphy, or any specific hazard.
She's good.
So how were the dates a clearly unintended mistake? Are the county lawyers incompetent?
Yes.
Nonetheless,
They said yes.
why haven't we received hazard pay, and where did all the pandemic funding go?
Thank you, Ted Elder.
Guy stated
Bless
paying
you, too.
retention bonuses to employees based on the time period is unacceptable and would put an undue fiscal burden on Hudson County taxpayers. But a $36,000 salary increase to the last county executive 6 months before he was set to retire isn't an undue burden on taxpayers. Guy's fluffy 6-figure salary isn't an undue burden on taxpayers. Additionally, Guy stated March 7, 2025, the county paid eligible local 2306 workers a retention bonus. It is April 10th, 2025, and even with the amended dates, myself, along with many others here, are still eligible but yet to be paid. Guy is an elected official who made a statement that was strategic in manipulation to sway the public opinion against us workers. The county collectively needs to stop lying to the public, stop lying to us, and honor their word.
She's incredible. Truth speaking.
Mr. Chairman, a couple of them. First of all, I agree with the speaker. That agreement is written, not as hazard pay, but as retention. That agreement, for whatever reasons the county did not talk about a closed government.
Nope.
Did not talk about an emergency, declaration of emergency. The language of that is pretty clear. So I don't know how they can change that, because it's written in black and white. There's a process to address that your union started. They've gone to PERC. PERC's now sent it back, telling them they gotta go through grievance, and then they can go to PERC. I wish they could figure it, sit down like good people and resolve it. In my opinion, taken in its most reasonable perspective, the latest date the county could argue would be March 9th.
Exactly.
So that's my position.
The executive one.
That's my personal position.
But what has he done?
I would hope
He
that
talks a lot.
they could wait
But he's known about this for 4 years. He's been in office, I think, for 20 years.
that and
Thank
try
you,
to get
Patricia
it
Walton.
Because I think probably still almost everybody would be covered if they use that date. And I agree with the speaker earlier, why I believe that date is true is because things occurred prior to the 21st.
Exactly.
Like related to schools. And what do you do if the school was closed and you had children and you still went up to come to work? You had to bear certain costs.
Oh yeah, Craig Guy is totally a brain stack guy. Craig Guy is brain stack.
Declaration of emergency talks specifically in item number 7, how the importance is workers like yours to continue to have to serve people, because they knew what was coming down the pike 2 weeks later. Once again, in my mind, that's recognition of that date as a date that made especially the way the agreement was written.
Right.
What occurred in 2020 and 2020, because I was here, and if you know, every year, even at the budget, when people weren't here, I've constantly said that we had an obligation as it related to hazard pay, because it was vague, it was verbally agreed upon, and they're never done. And it wasn't done for, quite frankly, to not defend the administrator or the executive, but outside sources stuck their nose in. And they stuck their noses in here because they knew if we did it then, the pressure would be on them to do it then. And those are from mayors throughout Hudson County. I'll tell truth. I'll speak truth.
He
That's
speaks,
what happened.
but is he going to do anything?
Outside,
They've known this for 4 years.
hey, don't do that. Because if you do that,
He's talking now because myself, I've been exposing this, and all these brave men and women
I'll tell you, these were
speaking
towns
at
on
these meetings
both
and doing
sides.
protests.
You got a war going on, right? Trust me. They were for both sides. They were in that war back then. So that's what
You're right.
created that.
Anarchy, lip
And
service.
now we're trying to address and resolve it. They've gone to the issue of retention pay. And the fact is, the way that's written, I agree. The second point, which I think is clear, and the union and the city need to sit down and deal with this.
You're right. NZ Kiwi, nothing's
The
being done.
fact that now they provided me Union County, Middlesex County, Essex County, Passaic County, with these great ranges. You could have a 50, you could
Yep,
start
Ted
at
Elder,
50,
word
go
salad.
to 78. And I look at Hudson, you go from 50 to 56. That ain't
We've all
great.
been asking for this to be addressed and fixed
So, and if
for
they
weeks
want to
now.
address that and
They've done
make
nothing,
things comparable,
including him.
then they need to do two things. The first thing they need to do is get the upper end of the range towards those other counties. The second thing we need to do, and I don't understand this yet, is to look at how do those other counties do it.
Right.
You're right, Lenny Malley.
Step
Lip
I
program.
service.
assume it's based on some level of years of service, because that's generally logical. So
Yeah,
I'm asking
you're right,
that they
Thomas. They're
start
all
to
tied together.
look into that
Great guy,
and
Brian
provide
Stack.
that information to us.
Anthony Romano, they're all part of the machine. Dirty, dirty machine.
A lot of people to other counties. I've met with people
We will.
that left here and went to other counties and really didn't want to leave here. Some of them actually live here. And they said, I had to go work for Union County because I'm gonna make $20,000 a year more, and I like living here, so I can do that. And then I
Right.
reversed that, people say, I had to move to another county, because that's the only way I could afford it, because that's the different one.
Right.
So I think those issues, are critical and important. We have to figure a way to get, over the period of the next contract, parity to other counties, and parity needs to be real parity, meaning an understanding of years of service, tied
All
with
this talk,
escalations in
no
salary.
action.
The same way they do it with public safety officers. They do that with public safety officers. I don't know whether they call it steps or years
Next
of
speaker.
service. I'm trying to get to understand that as it relates to this particular, to this particular union and the titles that you guys have. But on retention pay, you're right. I mean, they wrote the agreement the way they wanted it to be. They
Yes.
could have called it hazard pay. They could have done it the way it was supposed to be
Strategic.
done before, per day, X amount of dollars. They chose to write it a certain way.
Right.
And by doing it, they created the situation they have.
Right.
And they should figure out a way, through whatever process we can, to get it resolved.
Their word salad is terrible.
Mr. Chairman, the next speaker is Raymond Mitchell.
Hey, before we start, what are you doing? Can you wait? Can we have a moment of silence for everybody's loved one that passed away in this pandemic, since we're doing it for Dominican Republic and for other places? Can we all stand for that? Why not?
Why not?
All right, well, I gave all this last week to everybody. Did you guys investigate? Did you see what's going on? What happened with the emergency management here? September 19, 2019? Oh, yeah, where? Where's the prosecutor?
She's so dirty.
They left. Well, September 19, 2019, emergency drill, North Bergen, Hackensack Meridian. Did you guys know about the pandemic before it happened? Yes or no? What happened September 19, 2019? For a bioweapon. Ever since that, 6 months later, my father's death at the North Bergen Harborage. Also, Fanny, you work for Brian Stack? These letters came from, Fanny. These letters came from Union City Mayor's office. Can you tell me, identify whose handwriting this is? Can I come up and show her? Maybe she'll. Okay, you
It's
wanna
like,
show?
oh, what a joke.
All right, so can you tell me what happened
Sounds
to
like Stack.
Lily Beth that worked in the office that wrote these letters? Why? How come she doesn't work there no more?
Can't hear you, Fanny. Use the mic.
A personal decision after she wrote these letters? When did she resign
First time
or
she's ever spoken, I
fired?
think.
Whatever happened? What happened? Can you get the information for next meeting and find out what happened to her after these letters have been written? And also on these letters it says the Harvey View has nothing to do with the Hackensack Meridian Hospital. The #1 hospital, you believe it? In the state of New Jersey, Hackensack Meridian.
That's Brian Stack's
All right,
confidential
so
secretary.
you referred it to the prosecutor.
She knows
Okay,
all
so
the dirty secrets of Brian Stack.
what happened? When? Can you have a date? You have a time when you sent? Last meeting, okay. And nobody has contacted me or anything. But does anybody know about this emergency drill here? Any of you? Let me tell you, this came out of the Office of Emergency Management here, Hudson County. What happened to that? The guy from Hudson County, Emergency Management, said he's no longer there. Is he the last person in 2020?
He's still there, correct?
He's still there? Okay. Can you find out about this? Because 6 months later, my dad, he's no longer here.
Director D'Alessandro will answer that. She's just taking your information down. James Woods works for Director D'Alessandro.
So the next meeting, you'll find out all this?
She's right
And
there.
can it?
The meeting was kicked out.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
The representatives from departments, including the prosecutor, need to stay here till the end of the meeting.
Yeah, that's not right,
just
to
stay
be
here when
honest.
their items get voted on.
That's not right.
Right, they absolutely need to stay here. And there, by the way, Esther Swiss, the Hudson County prosecutor, she is so incredibly dirty, corrupt. It is insane.
Fanny gotta give me that information, she said.
Yeah, don't hold your breath on that. But keep following up with her until you get it.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm coming to you tonight because the workers at Hudson County Department of Services really need help. As my other coworkers stated, we're dealing with extremely low work morale, huge cage backloads throughout the buildings. Our health coverage is increasing and exceeds the 2% increase management is offering us for a raise. How, should I start over? Should I stop? Okay. Okay, as I said before, we're suffering with extreme low work morale, huge case backlogs throughout the building. Our health coverage is increasing and exceeds the 2% increase management is offering for a raise. How would you feel if you made $2 an hour and the person right next to you made $50 an hour? Well, that's how the workers at Hudson County feels. Other counties in the state receive cost of living increases, raises, hazard pay, and receive livable salaries without negotiation wars with management. Every county in the state has a budget for cost of living and raises for their workers. Hudson County seems to be out of this state equation when it comes to their workers' salaries. The loss of the overtime project we lost toward the end of 2024 affected the workers and clients in the worst way. The majority that worked overtime did it to compensate for low salaries and make ends meet. We once had a 2-week turnover that has now escalated to three to 4 months. The negative effects and hardships that impacted the economy has turned the agency's client lobby into a panic room, mayhem, worried and angry clients. The clients' needs are growing and we are not able to produce the help they need. My phone calls office visits and emails are plagued with people telling me they're suffering from life-threatening illnesses and need of medical treatments that will help them live, like dialysis and chemo treatments. Clients are applying, and by the time we're getting to some of their application, they've passed on. That alone causes mental stress to the workers. It escalates to mental and physical health issues such as high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, and other illnesses related to stresses like these in the workplace. The retention pay issues that the members in 2306 are facing are now dealing with altered negotiated dates and breaches of contracts. The already stressed out and underpaid workers of Local 2306 were turned into people who felt robbed, lied to, and taken advantage of. The workers in 2306 were looking forward to this pay just like the other locals. We work, sacrificed lives and lives of our families, watched co-workers die, and contracted COVID in the building just like the other two unions that received the retention bonus. It was said that the taxpayers couldn't afford the retention bonus. Why are the taxpayers in this equation when these funds were awarded to the county by the government in 2020? Now, 5 years later, these funds that were allotted to all the workers are only available to a certain few. So what I'm saying is, how is this going about when everybody knows this? They made us provide calendars. They knew what they do. They see our payrolls. The majority of the workers are taking out pension loans, paycheck loans, any type of loans to make it. And it's shown on our pay stub, so they see this. So you know that we're struggling and no help is offered. So how are we supposed to make it when they know we can't make it and there's nothing being done?
Rashida Jackson.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, all. I'm here to speak about the unfair treatment of your seasonal communication operator. The seasonal communication operator. In October, I was given the pleasure, the honor to sit with some new candidates that will be working in the title of seasonal communication operator. So I bragged about this title to the fullest, like I sold this title, and at no time was I told to stop. I never knew that the seasonal communication operator would not be entitled to no paid vacation time, no paid lunch time, no medical insurance, and even still to this day, the communication operator don't even have a uniform. Nobody can give clarity for this lady on what's going on with her. Nobody. She was told after 3 months of employment, she would become permanent. She's working into her 6th month. No paid sick time, no paid lunch time, no insurance, and she can't even do receipts. So she has to work the 5 days on, 2 days off. 5 days on, 2 days off. Sick, gotta still come to work. That's the only time they acknowledged her. The one time she called out, that's the one time she was acknowledged. Seasonal communication operator Booker, you called out, you don't have sick time. I'ma extend your probation another 3 months, which now gave her where we have other communication operators, 3 weeks made permanent. We had 2 terminated after do not report. No one called, no one gave a courtesy call, no one called to check on them to see if they're okay. No one even called to see, did you understand why this day was missed? But they didn't terminate them until 2 months later after all the well-known holidays were completed. So after Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, after those things were completed, then they were terminated.
Allow him to talk after the speaker, so stay tuned.
That was the very first day they met their immediate supervisor on day of termination. This is unfair, and I know it was with good intentions. The hiring of the people were with good intentions, but it's unfair.
Okay, thanks.
It's unfair. That is unfair. And I know it's because she's not union. Okay, she's not union, but she's still a human. She's a Hudson County resident. She's a taxpayer. Unfair. Can somebody please help Brianna Booker, Aliquan Jackson, my son, and Diaris Cahill with their employment?
All right, Mr. Chairman, I would like to exercise my 3 minutes to speak.
One more speaker, Chairman.
Okay. There's one more? Okay, I'm so sorry. Sorry. I thought you said that was the last one.
I wanted to ask Director Scott, I believe you oversee I'd like to ask you to address that. I have a concern that if we're bringing in individuals as seasonals, our goal should be to make them permanent. So I'm curious to find out what's wrong with that's not working. Because they don't get paid a lot of money. I understand as a seasonal, you're not entitled to certain benefits. But at the end of the day, those seasonals should be able to transition over to permanent and get all those benefits that they're entitled to.
Commissioner, I will get the 3 names from the speaker, and I will, with the personnel department and Director Scott, I will be able to give it an answer.
It's hard to get people even take these jobs.
Yeah,
Look, I had to go over to the building where they work when there was no heat in the building back a couple of months ago. So I understand some of the conditions that some of those individuals have to work in. And if they got sick, they might have got sick because of the conditions when there was no heat in the building.
It's not just about the 3.
Chairman, the next speaker is Ada White.
We have heard. We thank you, Ms. Weidman, and I am back. I just wanted to piggyback off a few things that some of my coworkers talked about. They talked about the cost of living. I have maxed out credit cards. I am an HSS1, right? And I've been with the agency 14 years.
What's your salary?
$50,000. I max out credit cards just to eat. Now watch this.
Sean's gonna
Somebody
attempt to
said
speak
something
after
about
this.
high blood pressure. Because my pressure is high, I've changed how I eat. My pressure is still high because of stress from the job. So no, it's like you all don't understand. This runs deep. And then to not be compensated financially. I can't even do Uber, watch this, because you have to have a car that's 09. I drive an 08 Acura. I can't even make the side money. I work. So you've never seen me before because prior to the pandemic, I worked a part-time job. But the pandemic came and they let us all go. They never even offered to bring us back. I had to, and I don't have small children. Thank God. So although I am an HSS1, I applied for the clerk 4 position. I'm higher in title, but guess what? The clerk 4 position is more in salary. What's going on with it's the weirdest thing. So now I'm in anticipation because civil service said I could take it. It was almost a fight, but no, I need that. I need that other money. I wanted to, okay, so I'm in anticipation. Now we get the email that there's a freeze. But just like in county fashion, there's a freeze in promotions, but then now there's another list comes out. Why don't you apply for the HSS too? Where's the money? How are you promoting? You're gonna say because of budget, we gotta wait for that, but then turn around and now they want HSS 2s for ABD. She's not interested. She's not interested. They're not interested. So this is how fickle this is, and you all know. Did you all ever watch The Honeymooners? With the late, great Jackie Gleason, Art Carney, and Joyce Randolph? Do you remember the episode? And Jane Meadows. Do you remember the episode when Ralph was talking to Alice about some money? And Alice said, "What are you going to do?" You didn't get it. Ralph said it was a mere bag of shells. That's what our salary is. And that's what that retention money was. It's nothing but a drop in the bucket to you all, but I can at least pay off a credit card with the retention money. So I can buy some food, being that I have to eat healthy.
I'll move to let this gentleman.
I would like to speak. I would like to speak. Your rule is unconstitutional and restricted. This is what happens. They don't care about what you guys are saying. He's smirking the whole time.
I
talking
say
to
no.
you.
No.
One no.
No.
The ayes have it.
Ridiculous. Anti-transparency, anti-First Amendment.
That's insane. Insane. He wanted to shut that. This is Anthony Romano, chairman.
3
Brian
minutes.
Sackhack.
3 minutes. And you can't, because you want to rush out of here. You don't care about these people's problems, but you will.
3 no's. Can we get 5 no's? Let him speak.
Let him speak. Let him speak. Let him speak.
Don't yell at me.
Understand something. Understand something.
You were very disrespectful in the beginning of
I'll address it.
The second thing is, there is a procedure. We were going to ask you to put you on top of the list the next meeting, also out of respect to you. So all we ask is the same respect that we give to you, we'd like to give to us. That's it.
He lives 3 hours away. God.
My name is Sean Paul Reyes. I came here from Long Island, New York. I'm an independent journalist and activist. I like to highlight government corruption within law enforcement and with local governments like this, county governments. I just want to say first and foremost, I'm only here because workers have reached out to me anonymously to come and use my platform of over 1.5 million followers to put some pressure on you guys to do the right thing and actually listen. Because obviously, Chairman, you have been here with a smirk the entire time these people have been talking. Okay, you're agreeing with me.
Yeah, right.
You have to take them seriously and listen to them. This is not the first time they've been here, I've been told, that they've been bringing these concerns up. None of you work in moldy conditions. None of you work in rat infestations. And you wouldn't dare to go into a place like that. But at the end of the day, I'm here to shed a light on this and your unconstitutional restriction. 24 hours in advance, you have to sign up to speak. It's ridiculous. Why? It's a unreasonable restriction on the First Amendment. I've spoken at public meetings all across this country, from Hawaii, California, and everywhere in between, New York, Florida, and I have never come across such a rule where you have to, in writing, submit a request to speak. This is a public meeting. Anybody who shows up should speak. I mean, I get it, you hold it at 4:30 so people who are working can't come here and address you on their issues. You make it a lot harder for people to, you should do it at 7, really, when people have time to come. You need to be less restrictive on the First Amendment. You know, thank you for making the motion for me to speak. I would like to address my interruption earlier. It's to bring awareness. I was never going to just derail the entire meeting. I eventually walked off. It's to bring awareness to this unconstitutional ruling. Because if somebody had a problem in Hudson County today and they wanted to come speak to their elected officials today, they couldn't. They would have to wait. They couldn't address their concern that they had earlier in the day because of this rule that it makes no sense. Restricting the First Amendment needs to be reasonable, and I don't see how it's reasonable in any way. So I will be filing a lawsuit for this rule that you guys have to get it changed. I want to say to each and every one of you, you guys coming out like this, you guys supporting each other and going on strike and doing what you're doing. It's really respectable what you guys are doing, and that's why I'm using my time.
Peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest. Excuse me. I know a lot about peaceful protest, but I respect your peaceful protest. You're coming together to confront your elected officials here because it's important. And a lot of the times they look like they're not listening and they're eating. And I saw somebody eating. I saw somebody looking away. It's important to address them, but it's more important when it's time to vote. We don't vote, right? Let's be real. How many of you voted? A lot of people don't vote. They're busy with their lives. They're busy with their credit card payments. They're busy with everything else, and they don't get out to the polling stations to vote. So please, get out, be active in your community, and vote anybody up here out that doesn't deserve to be up there, that's not listening to you. Thank you. Thank you.
The time is now for motion to adjourn. Motion. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it, meeting adjourned.
And at the end of the day, freedom of speech prevails.
It did prevail.
That's all right.
Thanks to Bill Update up there. Make sure that it's we're going to Stick Romano.
All right, Stick Romano. All right, Stick Romano. He hates free speech. It's very sad. He was shamed into it. He was shamed into it. Didn't do it in his own free will, which he should have. He hates the Constitution. Yeah.
Why did they call you stick? Why did they call you stickball? Yeah, stickball. I heard it was because you used to chase kids around with your nightstick. That's what I heard in Hoboken. It's very delusional. Yes, I heard it from the people that.
He gets very friendly at the end of a meeting. At the end of the meetings.
Maybe we get somebody going. That's just what I heard. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Stickball, you want to play me? Let's see how good you are.
I'll play.
As long as it's cheap.
Is that it?
Play me stickball, fastball, no on the bounce.
Is that code? Is that code?
Whatever sport you want to do, it's a veiled threat. Then we get
Yeah.
basketball.
I think it's a veiled threat. It's one. It sounds.
I'll bring whoever told you that, send them my way. I'll bring them on my channel. I'll play with stickball. No problem. He doesn't know.
Right. I think he's talking a different. You're talking about the innocent stickball. I think he's talking about.
Whoa, hey,
I think he's talking about another
We
stick
don't do those. Sorry, stick.
with no ball.
It's a bunch of sticks.
Right. All right, that's something else completely. All right.
All right. What's up, Spencer?
Right. So, Sean did a great job as always, and all the people here did a great job. And Sean wants to use your thumbnail on his channel.
Who is Sean?
Long Island Audit.
Do you know my channel?
No, I wanna-
commented. It's a talk with T. Get those videos on my channel some way, somehow.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, I'm not going to do what Leroy did. I'm going to make sure I got you in the description.
Yeah, y'all doing it. I want you to help me
I know
on
her.
my
I know her channel
You got to
now.
run for office. You are a great speaker.
Thank you so
You are a
much.
great speaker.
Thank you so
You obviously
much.
have a lot of support in your community. You should take their job. You really should.
I should.
And I will help you
Yeah.
do it. I'll help you do it. I'll use my platform. I'm going to put your link. You have a channel for real?
I do. It's called the Talk with T.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I want to highlight it. He's going to highlight it.
I'll put the
Yeah.
link in my description.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got your check this month?
I did.
From,
I went
from
to-
YouTube because I want some of that money.
Yeah.
You know I need some of that money.
Yeah.
I hear you. The only thing that pissed me off about your video
You're Tawana.
was the fact that
One-
most of it wasn't even true. You were snapping.
One thing is.
Yeah, if you went up to that poor lady, did actually
Get it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to grab my microphone here. My microphone. Hold on. Get my mic. Right.
Thank you for your constructive criticism. I appreciate it.
Right. Some people are talking to O'Day over here. Everyone else left. He's the only one who actually talks to the people. You did an awesome job. I'm live streaming now. Can you tell everyone your name and let me get the mic.
And I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it was not just about money. It was about a complete change with Hudson County Department of Family Services and reintegration.
Right, excellent. You do a lot of good work there. You help so many people.
We do.
And I know how many people that you do help, and I've seen the numbers that come through. How many people on average do you help?
Well, we're assigned 14 every day. So if somebody misses something, they come right back to us in the next month or two. But every day, each worker and their assistant supervisors are assigned 14 cases. That's how how many cases we have in Hudson County. And that's just my department who deals with SNAP and GA assistance.
How many people per year? Any idea?
We right now have, in the last article, over 103,000 SNAP recipients.
103,000. Wow. Yeah. Again, and the conditions are bad. The lies they've done to you and constantly doing to you is terrible. And I got sick the day after I reported on the mold. Because that was my backdrop. And I started feeling sick. And it was not like a cold, it was mold sick. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Bill O'Day is the only commissioner here who actually is taking time to talk with the people. The other ones are pathetic. They're all gone. It's terrible. All right, so I'm going to end this live stream, everybody. And I so appreciate all of you being with me. I don't have my regular tie on. I had decided to use a different shirt today for a number of reasons here and mix it up a little bit. And I will be doing a condensed version of this video and with the highlights. And thanks to Sean Long Island Audit. He did a phenomenal job of speaking today. Really, really good. And appreciate his support to all the people all across the country. I appreciate your support. And South Jersey News, you gotta subscribe to South Jersey News. He's awesome. He's my very good friend. Subscribe to him. And also the Full Court Press, my very good friend. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And one thing I ask is for all of us. I used to be the guy who was watching all these videos for years, for 10 years. Then I decided to do my first interview with an allegedly corrupt mayor in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Because just watching the videos, I realized wasn't enough. So what I ask you to do, you know, anyone who's inspired can do what I do, of course. You know, but I encourage you, each of you, go to your local meetings. Hold your local politicians accountable. And once Mayor and Senator Brian Stack is indicted, then I'm going to be doing some traveling as well. And I want to be able to teach you and give you training and support so you can do what we do all across the country. Because most meetings, as you probably know, almost no one goes to these meetings. They got 0 people speak, 1, 2 regular people they ignore. Be those people they will not ignore because you're going to hold their feet to the fire. So I appreciate all of you. Ted Elder, Angel K, Integrity News, NZ Kiwi, Rami, and Rami, thumbnails. I could use a thumbnail. If you could take a thumbnail, so for my static video from today, it would be awesome. Rami does awesome thumbnails. Claudette. Mimi Zeta. I saw Mimi Zeta here somewhere too. Lori Wilson. And Anarchy Television. Claudette, Space Ace. And appreciate all of you. So please subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel. Stay tuned for many more updates. And God bless you all. I'm going to talk to more of the
Please
people here.
subscribe to my channel.
Oh, here, tell. I want you to get a plug. Here.
I'm gonna give Talk with T the endorsement.
This is a shameless plug, but I am. This is a shameless plug. I am a Talk with T, and this guy, Leroy, has been putting me on his channel. So go on over to my channel and check out my content. There's some good stuff over there. It's going to bless you.
Long Island Audit approved.
Right. So y'all take care, and y'all keep this guy, send positive energy, because Brian Stack's going to get his ass.
He's trying. Well, he's trying to every day. I'm going to end the live stream, then I want to talk with you. All right. So God bless you all. I love her. That's Tawana. What's your last name?
Amir.
Right. And I used a thumbnail because she's so dynamic. I didn't have her channel. She's like, you didn't tell anyone about my channel, Leroy. I didn't know your channel, but now I do now. So make sure to go to her as well. She is one of my favorite new people. So God bless you all, and we'll talk to you very soon.